14th of November 2022. This is just going to be a quick video. The first chart is this is a percentage of Nasdaq stocks trading above the 50-day moving average. So it's actually ricocheted pretty strongly over the last few days, as you can see there. So that's on the weekly. Sorry. Anyway, you can see that. Well, ordinarily, like a big move like that would tell you to be a bit cautious, because the previous times here sort of got up to that as a contrarian indicator. That's been time to be a little bit cautious, like I say. So the only exception to that is if the market's coming out of a very steep correction, which we certainly have been in a very big correction. So it doesn't mean we shouldn't be investing here. Is a conclusion. It just means I need to be pretty cautious. I've had a pretty few strong days. So yeah, I just want to move to the Nasdaq itself. So this is really a follow-through, or a new follow-through day here. Massive volume, big move, and then followed up by more again. So yeah, I think we have to sort of start taking this as well. Yeah, so it's a follow-through day. So see if it works. Like I say, need to be a little bit cautious from that chart we just saw before. Yeah, it's been really tough. Saying all that, to tell you the truth, a lot of false signals. Yeah, you get a little bit optimistic and then get slammed again. Just also reading about this crypto stuff with FTX, and yeah, it's quite interesting that there was so many red flags, but why weren't there's a guy called Mark Coyotes, but no one else was really sort of talking about this beforehand, and now everyone's sort of piling on, and I just don't know what to make of it, to tell you the truth. But anyway, I'm going to just try to get a bit more exposure, just bit by bit, and see how we go. So the first stock I'm going to go over is CHX. Now I actually sold this. So just let me pause there for a second. I just read a record number of options being sold, like just full stop. So a few more calls than puts, but again, what do you make of that? Does it just show there's just so much sort of speculation in the market? And I don't know. Anyway, I sold this. Had some options here, made about 80%. Not a bad trade. So what my research tells me is that these buy gap ups after you have this initial momentum burst, anywhere from sort of 10 to 30 days, on average a 14% move with a huge sort of bell curve variance in that, it must be said, quite often will have at least some sort of consolidation or pullback. So I sort of coupled that in light with just the sort of the ricochet of stocks trading above the key moving averages has moved up a lot. So I'm going to take my profits on this one and just lock it in. So yeah, out of that one, CALX in this still, not going in my favour. Saying that, its chart's not looking too bad either. It's had a pretty serious pullback, really sort of vomitous sort of day there. I was toying with buying it back on this Saturday morning. Buying more, sorry. Didn't do it because it was acting pretty weak in an otherwise very strong day. So maybe it needs to consolidate a little bit more before it sort of gets going. I don't know. It's still got the options here. Like I say, I might actually buy more. That looks fairly healthy in terms of a pullback here. Anyway, so on my list to buy more. One stock I did buy more of was GEO. I sort of sold a few of the options here. Actually started buying some back here, some 2024 options here. So I'd like to keep accumulating a position in this one, selling some into when I have big strength, buying on weakness. But overall, I want to be working towards a bigger position, a much bigger position. And I did end up buying some options in RIG with this 10%. That's just acting like a champ here. So the chart's nothing special, but you see how like a big sort of breakout here, couldn't hold it, but really in such a sort of terrible market, actually got stopped out of here. But fundamentally, this thing looks incredibly cheap, and if this can get a bit of momentum behind it, then yeah, it could be off to the races. So anyway, that's what I've been up to.